Hello guys. Okay. Just making sure if you see like stuff floating over here, I have my humidifier. I have a little like personal humidifier. I have very dry today, so I have that going. So if it looks kind of funky, that's why. Alright, so today we're going to be doing another blue layer on Serena. Let me get a drink here. Okay, so I've already mixed up my blue. I decided with Luke, because I still cannot find, I've been looking everywhere, and I still cannot find the DecoArt Americana decor. So between that and another person on here asked me what medium I used, and I don't use a medium, I just use the varnish mixed with water like I showed in my other video. So I picked up some matte medium by Latex, and with Luke I'm gonna mix this and water and the satin varnish together. Actually, no, I think I mixed the matte varnish, not the satin varnish. So I'm going to try that in Luke and see how he comes out with that, because I need to find something to use in place of this, as I have not quite half a jar left, which should still last me a little while, but I'm eventually going to need to find something to replace it. So I'm trying some different things, so I'll let you know how that turns out. So let me get our Serena. Here. Okay. So there's our Serena. I got the paint on made, but I didn't think about brushing her off, so let me do that on the side real quick so that we can make sure she shouldn't really have any dust on her, because she's been in that food storage thing. It keeps bugs and stuff out of your food. Alright, I'm going to switch my glasses. So we're basically going to be doing the same thing we did for the first blue layer. We're just reapplying it again and doing the shadow, which, oh yeah, I did with the last blue layer. So if you want to skip this one, I'm just going to be going over the same thing I did for the last blue layer. So that's up to you. You can either join me or not, but I figured that rather than skip and just tell you guys to put, you know, so many layers on, that I would still make videos and show it. So, and thank you to all the people who subscribed. I appreciate anybody who likes, subscribes, and puts in a comment. And if you put in a comment with a prayer request, I'll pray for you guys. Speaking of which, please keep my dad in your prayers. He had another heart attack. He's going to go, he went to the hospital, but they cleared him now. He's doing better now, so he's got an appointment on Monday, so we'll see how that goes. He wasn't sure whether his appointment is with his regular doctor or his cardiologist. So we'll see what he finds out. Apparently, like I don't remember. I did human anatomy and physiology, so I still remember stuff, but I don't remember. I think he said that the It was either the blood flow that goes from the right and left parts of the heart wasn't working correctly, or like the electronical part from one to the other wasn't working right. So, which, yeah, his heart hasn't been real good. He has his arteries, he's got one 100% blocked, one 60% blocked. He's got hardening of the muscles of the heart from the COVID shot, which his doctor told him that. So if you are older, well, it doesn't matter what age you are, but be aware that there are some things that the COVID shot causes. The neurological problems that I have, my really good friends of mine thinks that that's from the COVID shot, because they're now realizing that it causes neurological problems. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I just wanted you guys to have some information. So do your own research and figure out what's best for you. I am obviously not getting any more just because I've been having problems since then, so. But anyway, on a more positive note, let's get back to working on little Serena here. So I'm worried about my dad, but I'm not, because I know God's got this and God will take care of him, and what needs to happen will happen, and he kind of wants to go see my mom anyway, who passed away. I was surprised he actually told them where he is, that felt like he was having a heart attack. Because before he wasn't doing that. The last 2 times he had a heart attack, or he thinks he had one, he didn't tell them because he has a DNR and he misses my mom. They were married for 50 years. Okay. So don't forget, it's very important to mist your makeup sponge with just distilled water. That helps it work better and absorb better and stuff. Too much on there. Don't want to leave any spots. And if you have enough on there that you're seeing droplets of water, you have too much. So just dry off your sponge like this a little bit, and then continue doing it until you've absorbed most of the paint. Hopefully my music isn't that loud. I'll turn it down a little bit more. I don't want YouTube getting mad at me for putting on music. They already put one. If you go on and it says something about one of the videos, which is, I believe, the last African American video, I don't know. It says that it's not allowed in some countries for some reason. So, but as far as I can tell, I haven't had anybody say anything about it yet. But as far as I can tell, it didn't mess with the video at all. So, if you have any problems with any of my videos, please let me know so I can take care of that. You can either instant message me or just put a comment in below. And I check those every day to every other day, most days. Unless I have something like really important going on that keeps me from it. But and you should just see just a hint of a change in the color. You have to be very, very, very patient when you're doing the African. Well, you have to be patient anyway, but especially with the African American ones. And we're not going to do the ears on every one, because ears are usually lighter. So I'll try and remember to let you know in the video, or you can see whether I do the ears or not, but I am doing it this time. That's because I need to try and get everything except for the lips. The lips we will not be doing. I forgot my blow out any dust on it. You guys see okay? Okay. I know one of the videos the camera is off and I didn't get part of it. I apologize for that, but so I'll try and pay attention to that from now on and make sure that back just a little bit there. There you go. Any problems or comments, just message me in the comments. Oops. Got a piece of fluff on him. Hoping that the new stuff won't cause it to be the vinyl to get sticky, because one of the ones that I used to use, it made the vinyl sticky, and so like all the dust and all the lint was just like, it would take me about half hour to 45 minutes just to get all the lint and dust off of it. And make sure you're stirring your paint every time, or every other time at least. I'll be really careful not to get any on the lips, because we want those, whoops, we want those nice and pink. I'm just being really careful around the mouth. I don't want to even pounce on the mouth and get any blue on there. A little bit of blue that came in there. So we'll do this, and then we'll go back over it again and do the shadowing, because we have areas that we are gonna want to be lighter in color. I cannot get this piece of lint. There we go. I hope everybody is having a good week. I'm not sure why the neck always tends to get more lint on it than other places. The neck and the flange area. I put the water purifier on in here for a while. Actually on in here for about an hour and a half before I started painting, but maybe I should have vacuumed in here before I painted. That blue speck on there. Okay. Goodness gracious. And again, most of the place I worry about lint and stuff is on the neck and the face and the ears. Because the head, even though I check it and I'll try and take it off and stuff, but if you're going to have hair on your baby, it's not really going to show that much. So I'm not as nitpicky as I am with the face and ears and neck. The neck, I'm real particular. Like I told you before, because it tends to, if you get a lot of lint and dust on the neck, it tends to, when you paint it, make it look more dirty, because as you paint it, you're also painting those hairs and pieces of lint and whatever. So it just makes them stand out more. And then instead of looking African American, it just looks dirty. And I am very particular about making my dolls look realistic and not just like an upgraded doll. Because for the price you guys are paying for them, they should be good. And I don't even charge as much as most people do. Oh, one thing, and I would love it if you guys would let me know in the comments. I started learning how to make quilts. And I know how to sew already. And I've started making quilts before, but never quite finished them. So I'm thinking about sending the babies home with a quilt instead of a blanket, or maybe with the blanket. I don't know. So let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that would be a good idea? Do you think people would like that? Okay, I can't get that piece off because it's taking off some of the paint. Okay. I think it's because I haven't vacuumed in here in a couple days, and while it doesn't look like it needed it, for painting purposes, I guess it did. So. Alright. Almost done with the head. And we'll do the shading and one arm and one leg like we usually do. And hopefully you just see a slight bluing of him or her. all you can see just them being a little bluer than they were before. There we go. Now, let's do the shadow layer. But remember to do that. We're going to do everything, or all of the head and neck. And so let's do that, and then we'll talk about the rest of it here. I'll remind you of which sections we do here. And sometimes I switch it up because, let me see here. Just a second, I need to get another brush because I want to get behind the ear, but I don't want to get on the ear. So I'm going to get a smaller brush here to do that. There we go. Okay. I got that half of the head. Did I just do this side of the ear or the other one? Second guessing myself here. I believe I just did that ear instead of this ear. Oops, I almost just started singing, and you guys definitely don't want to hear that. I got a blue speck on there. If you have that happen, it's usually because there was a piece of paint that didn't quite get mixed in, or that just kind of solidified, I guess, or something. I don't know. There we go. One of the only things I don't like about the Liquitex, colors is that these, you cannot take them off. Oh, I did get it to come off. I've never done that before. If you can take those off, oh, now it doesn't want to go back on, see? There we go. Okay, so if you can take those off, it's easier because you get less, like this stuff, the dry stuff in there. I should probably clean this one again. And that's usually where you get your little chunks that don't want to dissolve in it. There we go. Okay. Goodness gracious, what's with all the dust in here? Okay. Now here, I do just the edge of it so I am more precise in how I get it. So I get, make sure you get under the neck, and I do under the jaw right here. There's going to be a shadow, and that helps highlight the jaw more. And I'm going to get under the chin right here and just kind of drag that out a little bit. Same within here. Because those are definitely going to be darker areas. And although I'm not going to put blue on the lips, I am going to put it in between to darken that area. And maybe just these spots here, a little tiny bit. And I'm going to take that right off of there so it doesn't sit there very long. All right. And then up in the nose, any areas that we want darker, we're going to basically do every time so that we can get them as... All right. And the eyes. I got something in here. And spots, whoops. No, it doesn't want to come out. Spots like the eyes, they're creases that you want darker. You can let sit longer for a while. Just don't let them dry. The more you sit it there, the darker it's going to get. And then I'm going to take the excess and just use it to kind of get underneath the eye right here. Okay. Then we're going to go over it again. Or no, we're going to go around it. Excuse me. Actually, let's do our forehead first. So we're going to go above the eyebrows right here. And then across here. So what makes that kind of almost a triangle. And we're going to go around and mop up that water and take a little bit off the sponge. And then go around again, take a little bit off again, and then we're going to go bring it towards the middle to kind of blend it. But we don't want to get the very middle. Sometimes I'll use the edge of my sponge. There we go, because we want the center right here lighter than the rest of the forehead. Okay. So now I'm going to go do the eyebrows and under the eye. On both sides. And then just kind of use your sponge to just very lightly. So you try not to get it anywhere else. And then we'll use this. And I bring it across and I'm trying to get it right here, but at the same time I'm trying to kind of blend it out because I want it to kind of make a little shadow right here, but I don't want it to look like a line. There we go. And we're going to do next to the nose right here. And coming down here. And coming down here. Riley, stop. Riley's out of the room down here and out in the hallway. And I have the door open so that he can see us. But I've got a table in front of it so he can't actually come in here. Because you guys know he kind of bugs the rats and tries to jump at them and stuff. And now Evie has started getting protective of him doing that. So I don't want any fights. Okay, Another thing we're going to do is we're going to go around the lips, because that area on African American babies is darker. So we'll do that, and then I'm not painting it, I'm just like dabbing on it to get excess paint off. But I don't want to, I want to try and make sure I don't get it on the lips. Okay. There we go. Take this and just do a little crease right there. And I'm just going to bring that out a little bit, just to put a little bit of a shadow there. Go. And we'll do right here, and we'll do that little, whatever that thing is called. And we'll do the in the nose a little bit again. And remember, as we do this, your baby is gonna start looking more blue, but that's okay, because we want it to. We're gonna make him look worse before he looks better. There. And no, I'm not wearing my gloves today, but my hands are very, very dry. They're like cracking, they're so dry, so I don't need to worry too much about getting oils on them today. You also want to make sure and do some more blue on that depression there for the temple. There we go. I don't think we got the top of the head when we did this before. Just to make sure, I'll do it. If it's a little darker, it's no big deal, because it's going to have hair anyway. Alright, so there we go. Oh, one more thing I'm going to do is right here. Because that's usually darker too than the rest of it. Riley, stop. Don't forget, when you're using your toothpick to grab stray hairs and stuff, use get it wet, because it will help it stick to it more, and it will also help you to not scratch the paint, to just kind of lift it off. I think one of my brushes or something has dust on it, so I'm gonna blow those off. I should not have gotten this much this fast on there. So that's another thing. If you notice that you're getting more dust on than you were before, then check your brushes and make sure that you blew the dust off of there enough. Okay. Oh, I know we forgot. Forgot to do inside the ear here. And I'm just gonna do I'm not gonna do that little line right here, because I don't want that very dark. I just want it to have some of that depth to it. And be careful you're not getting any of the, let's see, this area, this, and this around here we want really more pale. So be careful not to get the pink there. Which, especially when you're starting out, is difficult. I had a few babies with very blue ears when I first started. Till I figured that out. There we go. Okay, head done. All right, whoops. And we'll do the hand. Blowing on the brush before I use the brush to get any lint off of them. Because as they're sitting here, there's going to have lint and dust that collects on them. And I don't know which one's doing that, so I'll just... Okay. And stir your water. Or not water, your paint. So we're not going to do the very tips in the blue. And we're not going to do the inside of the hand, because just like the lips, we're going to want those to be really pink. Okay. The hands, especially with this is a preemie, so the hands, or the arms and legs, are going to go faster than the head did. The head has a lot more details you need to take care of in it. Don't forget to use your brush to go into the creases and get those spots that are where the paint will pool. And if you can't get it with that brush, you can always take a little brush like this and do it. And that also helps to just darken them a little bit more. Okay. So we did that part. Now we're going to go over it again and just do the parts we want to shade, which is the elbow and the shoulder. And the sides and tops of the arms. And right here on the sides of the wrist as they come in. Whoops. Almost dropped that. And the bottom on the inside of the wrist. And then we're going to do across the fingers right here. And then on the knuckles. Like that. So, there's the hand done. I'll grab a leg. I really love this food thing. The only thing is I wish that it had, instead of having it zip around like this, I wish that it had two zippers so you could open it at the bottom first. As if it did that, it would let in less dust. Right. Now I'm brushing off the leg. And obviously, if you don't have one of those food things, you're going to have to spend more time than I do on brushing off the dust and stuff. Okay, I'm just checking the creases and making sure that, one, there isn't any leftover dust that I didn't get with the brush, and two, that there wasn't any anything stuck in the crease before I paint it. Because if you don't catch it now, you're not going to be able to, because you're going to put another layer of paint on it, and then when you try and get it out, you're going to rub that paint off, and then it's going to be noticeable that there's a difference of color there. Okay. We'll stir our paint. I'm going to double check it and make sure it's not getting any like dried bits in it from sitting out. Okay. So, just like the hands, we're going to be careful not to get the tips of the toes or the bottom of the feet. I should have actually done it like this so that I could get those creases too. There. I love when you're doing the feet and it starts getting darker and you do the way that it makes that the line here, and the difference between the African American, like the darker skin, to the pink on the foot, and it just makes this beautiful gradient here, and I just love it. And I'm just going to make sure that I get all the excess paint out of here. I'm just dabbing it. You want to dab it as opposed to brush it. Sometimes I'll brush if there's just like a little bit I can't get to or something, but for the most part you want to pick up that excess paint. You don't want to move it somewhere else. Now we're almost done with our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th and 12th layer. That's technically the shadowing, even though it's not all over, it's still a layer. Take off some of that paint. And you have to have a lot of patience in this, but I find it relaxing. Partially because I have my Christian music on in the background, so I can kind of rock out and praise God, and that's kind of part of my worship time, or my time with Him, along with reading my Bible and doing my Bible study, but which I also try and do every day. But uh-oh, the last layer, there we go. I got a little bit of red in there, and then I have one black spot that won't come off at all, so that might have been something that I forgot about that was in the vinyl. Okay. And don't forget, you can always take, because you want to hold on to here, and you want to keep from going on here, because if you get any blue or anything on your hands, it's going to sit on there. Plus, you don't want to be rubbing and getting any of the paint off of there. So you can always take a paintbrush or a stick or something and put it up in there, and then it's easier to hold it. I'm getting so excited because if you are a Christian, you know we're getting very close to the rapture. And that is something that I have prayed for my whole life. So it's kind of cool that it's going to happen in my generation. We don't know when, but we do know we are in the season. And if you have not made that pledge to God yet, then I would just plant the seed that you might want to do that. That's what is going to be going on after we're raptured is going to be about 100 times worse than it is now. And don't worry, I'm not going to sit on here and pressure you. I'm just bringing it up just to plant a seed. If you're not interested, then you don't need to listen. Okay. And while I want to talk about God some on here, I'm not going to talk about Him all the time or bombard you with it, because I don't think that's the way to do it. Alright. Plus we're on here mostly to, so I can teach you how I do reborns. I just also want to use this channel to bring people to God if I can. Okay, so now we're done with that. So we'll do the shadowing and then we'll be done. We're going to go on the very tip. And we're going to do the knuckles like we did before. and the back behind the feet. And on the edge around the ankles, we'd want the ankles to be lighter, so we're going to be careful not to get the ankles here. So the top of the foot we shouldn't get, and the ankle bones we shouldn't get. Then we're going to do sides of the leg here without getting that shin bone there. And I'll do the back of the legs. And then we do the knee. And the sides, especially where those creases are. I should have checked my blue. I think it's been sitting there too long. It's getting kind of more blue. I notice it. It looks bluer. Okay. And get those creases again. And the creases, I am rubbing it back and forth just so I can kind of spread it out a little bit, so it's not just in there, but it's kind of around the area too, so it's gonna be blended better, so it doesn't just look like a line there. It's one thing when you're doing your creases, you want to make sure that it just, if you just put it in there and let it sit and then just dab it like this, it's gonna look like just a line. Whereas if you put it in there and then kind of brush around like this so that it blends it, then it's gonna look more realistic. So now we got it without the top of the foot, without the tips of the toes, and the heel of the foot. I mean, not the heel, the bottom of the foot. Without the ankles. And without getting the top of the leg. So now we'll just do around the kneecap instead of all over the kneecap from now on. So there's excuse me, the end of that foot. Not the end of that foot. That foot is done. So I cannot sit in here any longer, so I'll do the other arm and leg later on. But I don't need to, you guys don't need to see that. If I don't have a baby right now, or a reborn, that is going to have an African American abdomen. But if that's something you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. And the next African baby that I do, I'll make sure to get an abdomen that would fit it, so that I can do that for you guys. So I'm gonna get cleaned up here, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. And if I don't see you on here again, I'll see you in the sky. And don't forget to put comments or prayer requests down below with any questions or prayer requests. I'd love to pray for you guys. And I will see you later. Bye.